Thank you very much. It's very clear to me, and no disrespect to the two witnesses here, that the government is pushing this through and the department is pushing it through without due diligence and planning, because I don't think, from what I've heard, that you have to go for planning permission to get one of these things built. Is that right or wrong?
No, you have to go through full planning.
Yeah. And is it in the Kerry County Development Plan? Is there a strict set of guidelines? Do you have to be a kilometre away from an existing house?
No.
I don't believe so, no.
You've no regulations?
It's not specifically to biomethane, although biomethane is recognised in the National Planning Framework and in the Planning and Development Act. Specific standards that you're describing there, I don't believe they are set out, no.
Well, this is very concerning, because people's homes is their castles. And there's so many people without houses, but I applaud the people that have built their own houses and want to ensure that their value is maintained and that they don't have to suffer these things beside them. And it's absolutely reprehensible to me that the planning regulator will stick his nose into Kerry County Council and the County Development Plan when we're looking for the zone land and to help people to build houses. And at the same time, he's nowhere bothered about this. All I see at the back of this car here, look, is that we must meet certain targets by 2030. I didn't vote for a deadline of 2030, and I never will, and that's for sure. But what's at the back of this is, and to think that there's a figure of 5 million there for someone, and we know people and small businesses that are down their knees trying to stay going until next July to get hope they get the return of their. And I hear him mention a figure. I mean, if we're even slow to give the ploughman, the tillagemen, 50 million. We don't know what they've got, because I was told different figures. We were told they got 30 million, and they got 50 million, and they were looking for 60 million. Some other crowd were going to give them 80 million. And I don't know have they any million got. But this is absolutely ridiculous. What I thought biodigesters were something to help farmers if they had an excess of slurry, because most of them are compliant now. You know, they have slatted sheds built and they have a lot of money spent themselves. But I thought it was to help the likes of them with small grants, or to give them whatever grant was needed to get them going if they had a problem. And with this nitrates derogation and everything. Now what I see this is at the back of this, come hell or high water, we must have these things in place to produce this amount of gas, whether it is good grass we'll put into it, or maize like I see in the north of Ireland yesterday. Tractor loads, there were lorry loads, passing each other out, going to this place to produce gas. I mean, there's a place called Stop. And I this is totally against what I thought, or it's totally different to what I thought was going to be. And look, I've no disrespect in the world for you. You're doing your job and you're doing fine, and you're fine by me. But to the people that's in the in here, and that we're more or less saying engage with communities. What is engaging with communities if they're uncertain? I mean, what is it for a half a village or a half a town complaining if this thing is landed in beside them, and that there's no rule or law in the county development plan, because the county development plan is sacrosanct to what goes on in the local authority area. And myself and Willie have been members of each individual local authorities, and others have been.
Answer your.
Yeah, but that is my concern. There don't seem to be no place that this can be trashed out, and that planners will get a proper due diligence. When just, for instance, when a fellow puts in planning permission for a house, his thing is sent to the environment, to send to water services, to send to roads, to send to all the different bodies to measure it and come back with an answer, and then the planner finally makes a decision. Like, this isn't happening in this case, is it?
In the time available.
Just a couple of points. There is going to be benefits for local communities and farmers in relation to the development of these plants, whether it's jobs, additional income stream for the farmer, improved water quality in the local community. So there are a lot of benefits for the local community.
That didn't answer my question, Councillor. My question is...
Answer it.
Yeah, but he's saying there's jobs and all the other benefits, but there is no proper planning process where this can be... There's no specification as to where this can be put, and this is sorted. What distance you have to be from a house with it? Is there that stipulation in any part of the regulations?
Specifically in relation to distance from housing, I'm not aware of it, no. But there is, you do have to go through full planning permission to get these plants built.
As with any build, yeah. And I think you touched on a couple of points there.
But you see, I know all senior planners, they look at the guide, they look at what they have to adhere to. They look at what they have to... Let's look at what they've said here, Chairman, but it's not appearing here.
To answer.
I'm sorry.
No, I just think it's an important thing to note. There's good engagement and there's poor engagement, and I think a couple of the members from the previous meeting said there was little to no engagement or just direct on a house, and I think that has to change. And I think the plant when Nephin were in from Ballinrobe, there was no objections there. So I think it's our job now to start engaging with developers to tell them, here's the best way to do this, here's the way to do that.
See, there's no
but I think on the other side,
there's no compulsion on them, Chairman, to do that at all. They can say they met a couple of fellas down the road and they were agreeable to it, but the fellas that were against it, there's no account to them.
We need to move on to Senator